I'm Ilya Marchenko.
I'm Dennis Kudla.
I'm Jesper de Jong.
I'm Henry Laakson.
I am Francisco Cerundolo,
and you are listening to the Game to Love podcast.
Hello, everyone. Welcome once again to another GTL Tennis Podcast live play-by-play stream. I will be your host and commentator for this match. We have the world. Oh, my name is Cubby, by the way, in case you didn't know. Yes, and we have the world number 1, Carlos Alcaraz, facing Tommy Paul, the world number 19, the local boy from Boca Raton, Florida. So he was born and raised in this very state. And so this is could loosely be considered one of his home tournaments. But yeah, had a pretty good year. Has Tommy Paul making the finals in Acapulco. Yeah, he had played also the longest match in that tournament's history against Taylor Fritz. Let's see, of note with Tommy Paul, he took out Huesler on the way to this match, and he also took out Davidovich Fokina in straight sets. So pretty good results as well. Also recently beat Hurkacz at Indian Wells before dropping a tough one to Felix Auger-Aliassime, also at Indian Wells. He actually had 6 match points. He had 3 match points in one game, and then he had 3 match points in the third set tiebreaker, and ended up blowing all of them. And Felix Auger-Aliassime won them all. However, Tommy Paul won the coin toss, and he will serve first. So we are just about to get underway here. Looks like we got about a dozen people in here so far. Let me know who you think is going to win, folks, right after this. Okay, folks, so let me know who you think is going to win, how many games. So just so you know, before you make your predictions, if you haven't just yet, Tommy Paul leads this head-to-head 1-love. They played in Montreal last year, and Alcaraz was up a set and a break before ended up losing that match. So there you go. There's the setup. The match is now officially underway. Tommy Paul is up 15-love, and he just served his second serve. And we got a rally going on, but Paul goes haywire on the forehand, so it's 15-all. Yes, we've got another Floridian in the house. We got GSL, Gary Saint Laurent, saying, "Hey, Cubby and everyone. I may not be in the chat for this one. Making money today has my attention, unfortunately, or fortunately. Have a great stream. Give him hell, Tommy." So we got the Floridian going for the Floridian. Thanks, Gary. And yeah, make that money, buddy. Make that money so you can come to Vancouver for the Laver Cup. Tennis Twit. Hey, Cubby, I'm going to be controversial and say Tommy in 3. Okay. I'm going Alcaraz in straights. I feel like he's just on a roll right now. I don't believe it for a second. Good evening, Cubby and everyone. We got Radiant Roblox plays I bet Alcaraz. And then an LOL after that. We got an Alcaraz forehand and a defensive chip forehand from Paul. Now backhand Alcaraz, backhand Paul. Forehand Alcaraz goes just long, and it is now 30-15. Paul on his serve. Emma saying, "Hi, guys. Welcome, Emma. Great to have you, as always. Bonjour, ouais bien. Comment ça va?" Thank you very much for joining. We got Go Carlitos from Emma. Yeah, Emma's favorite player. And yo, folks, check it out. Game to Love Tennis Podcast. Support the channel. There's a link right there. If you feel like throw in some money at the GTL team, the GTL podcast, so that we can help you continue to bring more and more tennis. And also, I always ask, hope that doesn't bother you, but please do give us a like and a subscribe if you're new. It really helps us continue to bring you more and more tennis. So I'm just going to adjust this. I got to take my phone down so that it doesn't move around. I normally do this before I hit broadcast, but I'd forgotten. But we are good. All right, so Tommy Paul holds with an ace up the tee. So it's 1-love for the American. Good start. Rocking the New Balance kit. He's got the black New Balance hat. He's got the very bright orange New Balance shirt. On the ends of his sleeves is white. So the ends are white, and then the collar is kind of black and white with like triangle patterns. White shorts and white socks and shoes for Tommy Paul. And then he's got the one wristband. It's a white New Balance wristband on his right wrist, nothing on the left, as he's got that orange towel that Miami gives you. Sean Power, Covey is the Steve Jobs of GTL. Who is Wozniak? I don't know. That's a good question, my friend. You'll have to tell me. Great to have you in the house, Sean, as always. 12 people in so far, and we got 13 likes. So mathematics, we're batting over 100 here, over 1,000, I should say. Tommy Paul also got some gold chains around the neck. A little stylish there. Freshly shaved is Tommy Paul as well. Carlitos rocking the same outfit he's been wearing since he came back in, Buenos Aires, the hot pink Nike shirt, black swoosh in the middle, the canvasy color shorts, same color wristband, and then white shoes, white socks, the wristband, of course, on the right wrist as he always rocks it. And he wins his first point, does Carlitos. Serve up the middle, and the return just came back long. So here we go. 15 love Carlitos. I'm excited to see some good rallies. Hopefully the movement of both players will extend some points and give us some exciting tennis. I fully expect that, as both players have the ability to move around the court really, really well. Of course, Alcaraz has probably a little bit more power on either wing, but Tommy Paul ain't no slouch when it comes to movement, and he can hang with the big boys, as evidenced by his play of late, beating Fritz. He's already beaten Alcaraz before, made it to the semifinals of the U.S. Open, losing to the eventual champion. So nice little rally there. A forehand from Alcaraz ends up going long, 15 all. Got my old water bottle. And we got Emma saying Elena demolished Trevisan. Yeah, I saw I was watching it because this one was after. Yeah, it was complete destruction there, wasn't it? Especially in the second set. It was a bagel, I believe. Tennis sweat. Elena is going from strength to strength, Emma. Yeah, and I think her first couple matches, I called both of them. She didn't look super in rhythm, but she made her way out. And after the end of that match, I said, I think she might win this tournament, because she got through the bad matches, and now she's winning the ones more easily that she should. Alcaraz serve return is a short one, and he just pulverizes that one cross court into the open court. It's 30-15. Carlitos. So let's see. X that box out. Clean up my screen a little bit. Serve out wide, forehand return up or backhand return up the middle. Now forehand Alcaraz, forehand Paul. Ooh, it's a shank. 40-15 Carlitos. Ooh, looks like we don't have the Tommy Paul button queued up in here. I'm going to have to send Ben a message real quick. Here's Alcaraz, 40-15, double game point. Serve is good. Return is good. Loopy forehand Alcaraz, forehand Tommy Paul, backhand Alcaraz, forehand Paul, backhand Alcaraz, forehand Paul, cross court. Alcaraz runs it down, but goes forehand into the net. 40-30. Nice job from Tommy Paul. Yeah, I'm going to have to contact our boy Ben and see if he can add that Paul button real quick. If not too big of a deal, but it's always better to have it. Yeah, so Fritz with an impressive victory over Holger Rune, who was a little bit underwhelming today, if I'm being honest. But Fritz was solid as usual. Alcaraz served to the backhand of Paul, forehand Alcaraz. Now forehand Paul into the net. Alcaraz holds. One game apiece. So since we don't have a Paul button, I couldn't press it, but Alcaraz does, so we'll press that one. Here we go.
Vamos, Carlos Alcaraz. 1, 2, 3, vamos. Vamos, Carlos Alcaraz.
All right. Okay, here we go. Sorry, sending this message to Ben. Okay. Tommy Paul takes the first game as takes the first point of game number 3 as Alcaraz backhand goes long. Tommy Paul hopping. Good body language here. Looking solid on his serve so far. First serve just wide of the tee there. Here comes a second for Carlitos to take a look at. Okay, second serve, backhand return, very deep and right along the sideline. That was cross court. It landed as far as you could. Cross court there. Alcaraz 15 all there. Daria saying, nice hat, Cubby. Thank you very much. That blunt. It's actually, this logo says Lozen. It's the name of a female rapper from Whistler, BC, which is, you might know of Whistler. It's a kind of world-renowned skiing resort, just about 45 to 50 minutes north of Vancouver. Used to be 2 hours, but when we got the Olympics, they one of the stipulations of getting the Olympics was we had to kind of widen the freeway. It used to be a 1-lane highway, now it's 2 lanes. Alcaraz return up the middle. Tommy Paul backhand. Alcaraz forehand. Now Tommy Paul forehand into the net. So it's 15-30 and a tiny bit of pressure now. Alcaraz has been jumping out to hot starts. He's got bagels in his first 2 matches here in the first set of each of them. So started off his first match, which was in the second round, with a bagel, and then he started his second match, which was third round, also with a bagel. No bagels, however, in the third match here. And Tommy Paul tries to go ace up the tee. He thought it was in, but it was called out. Here comes a second. Sean, second serve, inside out, forehand return, Alcaraz. Now, backhand, Tommy Paul. Oh, no, the Alcaraz, he had a backhand, actually, which I thought was in, but they called it slightly late, and it is 30 all. Sean, Sinner has improved a lot in the last year. In a couple of years, he'll probably be a complete player. Yeah. The difference with him and Alcaraz is into his man body. Sinner's lankier players, it takes them a little while longer to fill out, kind of. And so when he does that, he's going to be trouble for pretty much everyone on the tour. Emma saying Pegula or Potapova next, though. She has never beaten either of those players. Ooh, second serve. Alcaraz tried to jump forward, attack, and approach the net, but his forehand goes into the net. Tommy Paul, game point at 40-30. I saw Potapova play for the first time against Goff, was quite impressed, says Tennis Twit. Very dope. Have not seen her play live. Okay, Tommy Paul, game point. Serve is good. Backhand return, Alcaraz up the middle. Forehand, Tommy Paul. Alcaraz can't reach it as he wrong foots him. And it is 2-1 on serve early here for the American. I haven't seen much of JPEG, says Tennis Squid, but each match I've watched, she lost. You mean live, I'm assuming. Pegula hasn't really had any problems this week. Tennis Squid playing really well. Oh, nice. Hopefully will be a good match between them, Emma. James, Sinner still has a little of the baby giraffe look about him. Yes, he does, Jane. And by the way, Jane, I was making breakfast after the match, and I totally forgot to ask you if you wanted a button for the tip that you generously gave in the last stream. So if you do have a button you'd like to play, please let me know. You have one if you would like it. I'll give you real quick. I'll let you know which ones we have. Because it's I always feel heartbroken when I offer or when someone deserves one and we don't have it. So we have Alcaraz, we have Fritz, we have Runa, we have Sabalenka, Krejcikova, Boskova, Lajovic, El Chapo, meaning Shapovalov, Badosa, Rybakina, Gasquet, Tsitsipas, Bagnis, Pegula, Collins, Lehechka, Musetti, Rafa, King Kyrgios, and Tiafoe. So Jane, if there's anything on that list that you would like to hear, please let me know, and it's all yours. How are you asking what's ahead between these two? Any threats from Paul, do you think? Tommy Paul is 1-0. They've only played once last year in Montreal. That was when Alcaraz was kind of lulling a little bit. He he got the number one in the world, and then he started feeling the pressure and wasn't playing super well. However, that's no excuse. They still played in Montreal. He was up a set and a break over Tommy Paul, and Tommy Paul with a great effort to come back and take that match against Carlos Alcaraz. So it's a 1-0. And do you think any threats from Paul? I think he's definitely. I'm calling Alcaraz in 2 just because of the way he's been playing in this tournament and Indian Wells, but Tommy Paul definitely is someone to watch out for. All right, first serve Alcaraz into the net. So second serve Alcaraz into the body, and then nice drop shot from Tommy Paul, but Alcaraz gets there and easily goes forehand up the line. And the return from Tommy Paul was also really nice. Right at the feet of Alcaraz, he just got out of the way enough to scoop it back over. And that's what gave Tommy Paul the idea to go for the drop shot, because he thought Alcaraz was still behind there. But Alcaraz just needs 2 steps to get to that ball, and he goes up the line for a winner. Emma, Khachanov, and Tsitsipas about to play. Go, Karen. I hear you there. LOL's Amazon Prime showing Tsitsipas and Khachanov on treadmill right next to each other. Funny. Alcaraz and serve and volley is a smart play. Nicely done from the Spaniard. So Alcaraz 30 love here, looking a little sharper so far on this service game than he did in the last. Yep, saw that tennis twit. So funny. Yeah, it's funny when they do that. You know, they'll have them chilling before. Sometimes one of them will be talking to their coach. The other one will just be like headphones in, looking forward. I always find it interesting that the close proximity. I grew up as a hockey player, so we had our own locker rooms, and you never saw the other guys in the other team. Double fault Alcaraz. So now 30-15. So I spoke too soon when I said looking good on his service game. Although he still is, but yeah. So Ben got my message, and it looks like he will be adding this button, and he has added the button. Man, does Ben work fast as heck. Thank you very much, Ben, if you're hearing. All right. Ooh, Alcaraz up the tee serve. I thought it was in, but it wasn't. And it's a second serve coming up, still 30-15 for the world number 1, decked out in Nike. Second serve is good. Paul backhand to the backhand of Alcaraz. Backhand Paul. Now forehand Alcaraz. Forehand Paul. Forehand Alcaraz. Forehand Paul. Backhand Alcaraz. Cross court. And Tommy Paul can't handle that. He did get a racket on it, but it bounces on his side, goes to the net, and it's 40-15 Carlitos. Emma saying, my girlfriend plays hockey, Covey. Nice. Ice hockey or field hockey? Here in Canada, when we say hockey, we never, ever mean anything but ice hockey. Ice hockey is our most Canadians' first love. Definitely my first love. 76 to 68 is the average ground stroke speed for Alcaraz here. So +1, Alcaraz goes forehand. Tommy Paul forehand. Alcaraz forehand up the line. Clean winner. Display of power here from Alcaraz, and it's 2-all here in the first set.
Vamos, Carlos Alcaraz. 1, 2, 3, vamos. Vamos, Carlos Alcaraz. Vamos.
So Alcaraz here with a record of 16 wins and 1 loss so far in the year. He went and he started his year in Buenos Aires, won the title. Then he went to Rio, lost in the final there to Cam Norrie. Then he won Indian Wells. So he's been killing it. And Tommy Paul, nice serve out wide, tries to go serve and volley, but Alcaraz ripped the forehand into the middle, and Tommy Paul couldn't handle it. Goes into the net. It was the right idea, though. He pushed Alcaraz out, and if he had made contact, likely would have won that point. Just did not execute. But I like the aggressive style there from Tommy Paul. 17 minutes into this one. Okay, we got a backhand return Alcaraz, forehand Paul, forehand Alcaraz. Now backhand From another backhand Alcaraz here now. Backhand Tommy Paul up the line. Forehand Alcaraz cross court. Tommy Paul cross courts that. And then Alcaraz cross courts that. Crazy angle. And then a little chip back from Paul. Alcaraz from the alley gets it back in on the crazy angle. Tommy Paul gets that, but it goes long. What a great point here. It's love 30, but wow, both players, the cross court, the angles get sharper and sharper on those first forehands. So Alcaraz goes crazy angled, and Tommy Paul does like a drop shot from way outside the alley. Alcaraz gets to it, pushes it up the line, and then Tommy Paul, desperate backhand, goes long, one-handed flick, and Alcaraz does one of these because he knows him and Tommy Paul have electrified the crowd just a little bit. Jane saying, I can't decide. Emma, you decide. Ice hockey. Okay, Emma. Love it. Love it. Yeah, Britain I've actually seen improving quite a bit. Ooh, Tommy Paul on a +1. He shanked it really badly. It sets up 3 break points for Carlitos. Saw the point for sure. Jane, you're so generous. You can't decide. Saying I can't decide. Emma, you decide. That's so sweet of you. Well, whenever you do decide, one of you let me know. Hopefully it's one of the ones on the list there. Wedya, oh my God, Carlitos is on fire. First serve from Tommy Paul into the net. So Alcaraz has triple break point, and we'll have a second serve to look at. Second serve is good. Backhand cross-court return. Backhand Paul into the net, and it's a break to love Carlitos as he takes a 3-2 lead. All right, all 40 of you watching, I just want to say thank you for joining me for the stream. Really appreciate each and every one of you. If you are, maybe you've watched a bunch of our streams but have never commented, you feel a little shy, don't be. Say hi if you'd like. Let me know where you're from. I'm in Vancouver, Canada. Would love to know where you're from or who you think is going to win, who your favorite player is, men's or women's, who you maybe are predicting to win this tournament. Oh gosh, you're showing the replay of that point, and was it ever a great point? Both players with some phenomenal shot making, and just the fact that Tommy Paul got to that last ball that he flicked long was also impressive. Although, of course, he would maybe wish that he got that one. But yeah, Alcaraz, when he got the drop shot, that was the footwork is crazy, folks. It really, really is. We got Emma saying, give Covey a like. Yes, thank you very much, Emma. I really appreciate that sentiment. We do actually have a pretty good amount. We got 20 likes. Got about 40 people in the house, 44 actually, so about half of you. So that's great. It's good numbers. I'm hoping to get 100 likes all the time on my streams. Haven't gotten there yet. I have some work to do, building up the old fan base and everything, but really appreciate all the support, the tips, the comments, the engagement from everyone. So there we go. All right, Alcaraz now serving at 3-2 up a break. As I was mentioning before, he's 16-1 on the year, 8-0 on hard courts, and 8-1 on the clay. That one loss coming to Cam Norrie. 2 titles so far this year in 3 tournaments. Won 5 last year. All right, I'm going to X that box. Now here we go. Alcaraz, first serve at 3-2, kicking off game number 6 in the first set. First serve is long. Second serve on the way. That's so dope, Emma, that your girlfriend plays ice hockey. That is amazing. You know if she shoots righty or lefty? Backhand return from Tommy Paul off the second serve. Alcaraz gets that up the middle. Tommy Paul tries to go up the line, but it goes into the top part of the net. And is it 30 now? No, it's 15 love Alcaraz. Sean saying 100 likes is tough on the 3 setters, but Covey can do it, I'm sure. Thank you, my friend. I think I've done it maybe once or twice on my own. I've done it a few times with either Ben or JG. So those 2 guys know how to attract the likes for sure. Serve from Alcaraz into the body. Tommy Paul just blocks that wide. 30 love Alcaraz. And that's a big part of Alcaraz's game that he's improved, the service, where he's getting free points against these, top 20 type of guys. I was just thinking Tommy Just don't get broken and you have a chance. And then there you go. The old Jinxaroo. Lamberto, ¿cómo está, amigo? Amico. Lamberto, pick a button. I can't decide. So, Lamberto, you get to choose a button. Alcaraz with an ace up the tee. What did I just say? 40 love. So, Lamberto, Jane has one button that she is owed. And so she's giving you the opportunity to pick. I'll tell you because you just got in, just so you don't pick someone we don't have. We have Alcaraz, Tommy Paul, Fritz, Runa, Sabalenka, Krejcikova, Boskova, Lajovic, Shapovalov, Badosa, Rybakina, Gasquet, Tsitsipas, Bagnis, Pegula, Collins, Lehechka, Musetti, Rafa, Kyrgios, Tiafoe. So if you want one of those buttons, Lammy, you let me know. Team, you asked for one of the buttons we don't have, my friend. I just went through the list there. Is there anyone else that I mentioned that you'd like? Okay, first serve Alcaraz goes long at 40 love, still triple game point here. Here comes the second serve. Is good, and it's a shank from Paul, but it lands on the sideline. Then Alcaraz goes long on his forehand. So 40-15. Roydon saying Alcaraz 9 points in a row until he just lost that streak. Sinner button is funny. So Lamberto, we don't have the team button, unfortunately, my friend. Was there anything else in the list that I named that you would like? Let me know. Sean saying the Sinner button's funny. Yeah, it is. The visuals of it are amazing. I don't even think we have Sinner up here at the moment. Yeah, we do not. Second serve Alcaraz is good. Backhand return Tommy Paul, and then he makes his way to the net. Alcaraz passes him up the line. What a beautiful rocket of a forehand. Had really nice shape as well as he put some topspin on it. And it was nice and close to the line. So Paul was unable to reach it. And Alcaraz with the consolidation, and he takes a 4-2 lead early. Well, I guess midway through the first set here. Okay, Lamberto says Tiafoe. Lamberto is going to get Tiafoe. Thanks, buddy, for compromising.
I'm going to make a whole song called Francis. I'm bringing it out soon.
Francis, what you do to me? Yeah, bo, 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 bo. Francis, what you do to me? Yeah, bo, 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 bo.
All right, we're into a rally here. Alcaraz with a forehand inside out, and Tommy Paul cannot handle it. Just too much juice on that. And it is love 15. Carlitos continuing to roll here. Looking very sharp is the Spaniard. Alexander saying any Tommy Paul's girlfriend sighting. Not as of yet for me, folks. Emma saying Tiafoe is a good one. Really is. Lehechka button is best hands down, says Royden. All right. Good to know that you like that one. Hey, let's hear it for Emil Rusevori. Yeah, he took out Van de Zandschulp in a rare three-setter in this tournament. Tommy Paul pushes Alcaraz out wide and then goes the other way. Alcaraz's forehand goes long. It's 15 all. Nicely played. Emma saying, Francis! Thanks, Covey, and thank you, Jane. You're very welcome. Prego, prego. I will say Tommy in 3, says Tennis Twit. All right. Hey, M's in the house. Covey with a smiley face. Welcome, M's. One of my all-time faves. Also, big Rafa fan, big Carlitos fan, and just a big tennis fan. Love it. Oftentimes, you'll find M's and Emma late into the night watching matches 2-3 in the morning. Alcaraz with an overhead at the net, and he puts that away with ease. It is now 15-30 Tommy Paul. Tennis Twit saying Tommy Paul is just warming up. M's hi, says Lamberto, and Emma saying hi to M's as well. So we got the whole fam in here. GSL is kind of in and out. He said he's making money. Haven't seen Kathy yet today, or Peaches. But we do have Nature in the house. Paul come on, you can beat Spain single-handedly. By the way, Scotland 2 love over Spain. I guess we're talking about football. Is that right? Alcaraz, oh, it's a clean winner off the second serve. He got around the backhand and ripped a forehand up the line, and now double break point. Alcaraz just putting the screws to everyone so far in the last couple of tournaments he's been playing. 87-mile-an-hour winner forehand running around the backhand there. So 2 break points, and Alcaraz looking to make short work of this set here if possible. Tommy Paul needs to be careful. Oh, Tommy Paul had too much last night. At first, when I was reading, I thought you meant to drink, and then I understood what you're saying. All right, so outserve out wide is good, but the return from Alcaraz is not into the net. So it is 40-30, 1 break point saved. Not tonight, unfortunately, Covey. I'm working tomorrow. Oh, yes, because you got school. I got to forget Monday to Friday. Another serve in, and Alcaraz with another return long. So 2 break points saved for Tommy Paul, and now it is deuce. So good job, Tommy Paul, because the set could have got away from him real quick. Although this game is not over, it is a good look for Paul there. And then Royden, of course, says this set is done. Alcaraz backhand return. Tommy Paul right back up the line. Wrong footing Alcaraz, and it's advantage Tommy Paul. Lamberto, yes, I have to go to bed early as well. All right. Emma, I've worked too, but I feel like this is my real work with the wink emoji. So as soon as I said everyone stays up late, they're all like, not tonight, Cup. But hey, I get it. Not everyone can stay up late every single night. And for me, the match starts at 5:30 p.m. So, I mean, couldn't be a better time. Tommy Paul goes wide after a couple of cross-court forehands from each player. And now it is back to deuce for Tommy Paul. El Matador says, Wedien from France. Speaking of France, I'm going to get some zero sugar red wine, I think, in the next changeover. Even though it's only 1:10. It just feels like a wine sort of afternoon. All right. Tommy Paul serve out wide. Alcaraz block back goes long, and Tommy Paul with another game point. Emma saying, LOL, Ems, I wish commenting was a job, would be so easy. Yeah, you guys are great commenters. I will give you that. I should say you ladies are. Everyone is. Tommy Paul first serve wide. Here comes the second serve at advantage Paul. Backhand return Alcaraz. Backhand Paul. Backhand Alcaraz up the middle. Forehand Paul. Backhand Alcaraz. Backhand slice from Tommy Paul. Alcaraz rips a forehand winner up the line. As soon as Tommy Paul hit that slice, I was like, because I know Alcaraz is going to run around it, and he has that whole side open. Back to deuce. M saying to Emma, wouldn't that be the life? Where is Djokovic? I think he's probably in Serbia at the moment. But we know after this tournament, he will be back on tour. Finally, long-awaited return. He hasn't played since the Australian Open. Did he play? Yeah, I don't think he's played since then. All right. Oh, no, sorry. He played in Dubai. He ended up losing to Daniil Medvedev, who was on a big streak. Ace up the tee for Tommy Paul. So another advantage. 6-minute game here already. So a pretty long one. Yeah, Daniil Medvedev took him out in, I think it was Dubai, or was it? Yeah. So I think he hasn't played since then. First serve long from Tommy Paul. Here comes a second serve. And it's a double fault back to deuce. So this game is just lingering on and on. I think we're going to hit the 7-minute mark here any second. Emma asked me, what do I do for work, Covey? I do some property management, which gives me a pretty lenient schedule. And lately I've been doing some DoorDash and Uber Eats. Me and Gobi will just cruise around the city of Vancouver in the sunshine, delivering food to people. So yeah, just for some extra cash. Those are my vocational things, I guess you could say. Tennis Twit saying, nah, he played Dubai. Yes, he did. That was when Daniil took him out 6-4, 6-4 It was a really good match, actually, but Djokovic wasn't fully on, I'd say. Backhand Tommy Paul up the line, backhand Alcaraz. Now he comes in. Tommy Paul with the short ball. Alcaraz at the net. And Tommy Paul tries to lob it. Alcaraz totally shanked it, but it landed in. Now it's still backhand. Now forehand Tommy Paul lands in. Alcaraz with the defensive lob. Lands on the baseline. Tommy Paul with the overhead slam from the service line from the baseline there, and then Alcaraz goes into the net with the forehand. What a crazy point! I think Alcaraz actually did an overhead, but it went off the top of the frame of his racket. Yeah, and it still landed in. Total lucky shank there from Alcaraz, keeping the match or the point going. And that second last ground stroke from Tommy Paul was phenomenal forehand. It looked long, actually. Must have clipped the very outside of the line. Anyways, game 24-shot rally, game point like number 4 or 5 for Tommy Paul. And Alcaraz return goes long. So very, very gutsy hold from Tommy Paul. So he stays within touching distance, still down a break, but definitely deserving of a button is Tommy Paul after that that performance in game number 7.
Tommy Paul. Tommy Paul. Tommy Paul. Tommy Paul. Tommy Paul.
Tommy Paul.
Tommy Paul.
Tommy Paul.
Tommy Paul.
Tommy Paul.
Tommy Paul.
Tommy Paul.
Okay, Tommy Paul with a very gutsy hold. Let's take a look at what else is going on in the tennis world, folks. Jannik Sinner straight sets victory over Rublev. Earlier, I called the Fritz Rune match. That was a straight sets for Taylor Fritz. Ruusuvuori takes out Van de Zandschulp in 3. We have Khachanov Tsitsipas currently on serve in the first set, 3-all. Khachanov serving, and it's his advantage. Later on, we'll have Manarino versus Chris Eubanks. We've got Cerundolo versus Sonego, and we've got Halys versus Medvedev. I will also be calling that match. On the women's side, Rybakina, the easy straight sets win over Trevisan of Italy, and we've got Pegula Lukakova coming up at 7 p.m. in Miami, which is in about 5 hours and 45 minutes. I've got my red wine here that I was mentioning. Gonna have a little bit. Just a half a glass, though, because I probably will do some Uber Eats later. So, but that's not for another 4 hours. Here we go. Carlitos gonna serve here, up a break, 4-3 in the first set. Emma saying, stupid bands will be glad to see him back. Ace up the tee for Alcaraz. Lots of easy points on his serve so far in this match. It's good to see if you're an Alcaraz fan. Jane, Nature Explorer, you're right. Didn't he take down Rafa, PCB, and RBA on one tournament? Yeah. We've got Alcaraz trying to go up the tee again. This one is just a little bit wide. Anybody can beat Djokovic now. He is a beginner again. I don't know about that. Obviously, you're joking with the emoji there. It would be terrible. I would be terrible at it, Emma. I am way too biased. Another serve out wide, and Tommy Paul can't handle it. Backhand goes long. So Alcaraz, again, lots of easy points on his serve. 2 swings so far. Hasn't had to do anything other than just get the ball in. Emma saying, wow, Paul, peace from the Nature Explorer. Tommy Paul is a Native American or no? I mean, he's a native of the United States. I don't believe that he's like a Native American, like indigenous. I don't think so. I could be wrong, but yeah. Another serve up the middle, another return long, 3 swings of the racket, 3 points for Alcaraz. Like, this is ideal when you're playing, and he's playing tougher opponents. So the first couple matches, let's be honest, he was playing the 100th ranked player and whatever, and he demolished them. But when you're playing a guy like Tommy Paul, getting easy points is definitely welcome. Another serve out wide and another return long. 4 straight swings of the racket, 4 straight points. Alcaraz, easy hold for 5-3. Way to go, Carlitos. Now Tommy Paul will serve to stay in this first set.
Vamos, Carlos Alcaraz. 1, 2, 3, vamos. Vamos, Carlos Alcaraz. Vamos.
M says, let's dance. Dancing is fun. I would definitely dance if I could right now, but I got to call this match. Gary, I'm gaining new appreciation for Paul's game. He's got skills and his on-court demeanor is very good. Yeah, he seems very even keel. Jane, oh, really? Says Nature. Come on, Carlos, says Emma. Tommy Paul is up 15-love in his service game, but the first serve goes into the net. Here comes the second. It's good. Forehand return Alcaraz is long. 30-love Tommy Paul. We have Ronel Kotze, Carlos Pure Genius. Thank you for your comment, Ronel Kotze. Hopefully I'm saying that somewhat correctly. Not very confident, as you can tell by the way I just said that, but really appreciate anyone who's new, who comes in and says hello. Really, it's nice to chat with people. Nice to know where people are from. So if you're new, please let us know where you are from. I'm in Vancouver, Canada, calling this match. Alcaraz, the return from Alcaraz is good up the middle, and the forehand from Tommy Paul goes wide. So we have a 30-15 scoreline on the Tommy Paul serve. Nature Explorer, what? Paul is not fighting at all. Alcatraz in 2, says Ronel Kotze. And Carlos looks a little frustrated, says Tennis to it. Does he? Maybe I missed something there. From London, England, Covey. London, England is Tennis Twit, just like our boy Sean Power. Nigel, listening from Nova Scotia. Welcome, fellow Canadian, a Maritimer. Thank you for joining me, Nigel. Really great to have you in the chat. Who are you rooting for, my friend? Let me know. And Tennis Twit saying he's from London, England. Love it, Tennis Twit. Alcaraz return, and Tommy Paul just couldn't get a hold of that forehand, and it goes into the net. So it is now 40-30. Still game point here for Tommy Paul. Emma from Carlisle, England. Okay. See, when people say they're from England, my brain's just like, you're from London. But that's obviously not cool because obviously England is a pretty big place. Tennis Twit, haha, I'm a girl cubby. I don't know why I assumed what you were, but thank you for letting me know. Tommy Paul does hold there. That actually makes me laugh. Apologies if in any way I said something that, assuming if I called you a guy or whatever, but thanks for letting me know. Yeah, I don't know why I just assumed. There you go. My biases are showing for some weird reason. We're mainly known for football and often losing. Footy. Yeah. Well, it seems like in England, in the EPL, what was it? There's this one team, was it Wolverhampton or some team came, it's like 3-4 years ago, they won the Premiership, and they were like completely underdogs. They came out of absolutely nowhere. Yeah, not offended at all. Good to know. Facts, Emma. Gerald Aruna saying from Freetown, Sierra Leone. Wow, that's amazing. I don't think I've ever spoken with someone from Sierra Leone, although we have spoken before in the chat before. That's in West Africa, is it? Sierra Leone. Correct me if I'm wrong. I hope I'm not wrong there, but I remember if I recall. But yeah, very nice. We've got the west coast of Canada here. We got the very east coast of Canada. We've got the same in the United States. We got Alexander Lawrence from LA, I believe, and Gary's from Florida. There's a couple other ones I'm missing. We got Carlisle, England. We've got Sierra Leone. So very, very wide array of cities that people are watching from. Very, very cool. We've got Ems is from Ireland as well. Yeah, LA, Alexandre, Laurence. All right, Alcaraz serving for the set, folks. He's up a break 5-4. First serve is long. Here comes the second serve. And it's a double fault. So, ominous start, is it, for Carlitos here in game number 11 of the first set? Game number 10. M saying I'm from Rafa land. Gerald M's, haha, Rafa land. Not Alcaraz land. Alcaraz forehand. Tommy Paul with a forehand. Alcaraz forehand and up the line. Backhand. Tommy Paul goes into the net. Hillary Busadre just joined Covey Hill here from Calgary. Hey, Hillary Hill, welcome from Calgary. We are rivals. I'm a Canucks fan. I'm assuming you're a Flames fan, although I shouldn't assume. But hey, welcome, Hillary. Really, really happy to have you. And also, please, to all the new people in the chat, please do give us a like if you haven't yet, a subscribe if you're new, and hit the notification bell. That way you'll know when any segment we have on the channel is going to be going live. I've got a nice little rally going. Inside out forehand, Tommy Paul. Alcaraz backhand goes long. A little bit of pressure here, trying to end this set on serve. Alcaraz is facing a little bit now. It's 15-30. Very dope. So we got a Maritimer from Nova Scotia. We got a Calgarian. Come on, Tommy Paul, break back, says Tennis Twit. Hi from Emma land, says Emma. All right, Alcaraz serving 15-30. Toss is up. Serve is good. Forehand return up the middle. Forehand Alcaraz cross court. Tommy Paul up the line. Alcaraz drop shot. Tommy Paul gets to it, and it goes off the tape and does not go over. So Alcaraz back to level here, 30-all, just 2 points away from the first set. Tennis Twit, hi Hillary, hi Hill. Emma saying new names, exciting. Welcome Hillary from Ems. Thanks guys. Emma saying hey Hill. Yeah, really, really dope. Do you play tennis, Hill? Are you a player? Are you a spectator? You got a favorite player, men's or women's, or both? Let me know if you feel like sharing. Here we go. Alcaraz 30-all. First serve is a let. Lucky for Tommy Paul because his return was very long and wide. Carlitos taking his time here, 45 minutes in, trying to close out this set. He's 2 points away. First serve again. Ooh, it's out wide and looked very close, but it was called out. So here comes the second serve for Carlitos. Second serve is good. Backhand Tommy Paul goes wide, just about a foot wide on the return. So it is set point as Tommy Paul sticks his shirt into his teeth and bites down in a little bit of frustration. Can Carlitos wrap it up and take a 1-set-to-love lead? Let's find out. Been looking very good. His serve has been very strong in the last few games. Although he has felt a little pressure in this game, but still set point here. Game and set point. Carlitos, here we go. Toss is up. Serve is long. Second serve on the way. Hill saying spectator only and a huge fan of Carlitos. Oh, okay. Spectator, I think you meant there. Welcome. Yeah, he's my favorite player currently for sure. Nice return from Tommy Paul right to the middle. Alcaraz tries to run around the backhand, hits a forehand, but it goes very long and wide. Actually, I would go so far as to say that was a shank. So we got GSL. Hillary, welcome. Great group we have at GTL. Yes, we absolutely certainly do. We have Equa Guy saying, Vamos, Carlitos, tú puedes. I believe that means, let's go, Carlos, you can do it. Alcaraz is a winner, says Alexander Laurence. All right, Alcaraz here at deuce. First serve is good. Backhand return from Paul. Now backhand Alcaraz up the line, makes his way to the net. Tommy Paul gets it over. Alcaraz hits it, goes off the tape, lands in. Then Tommy Paul gets to that, pushes it out wide. Alcaraz lobs that in desperation. Tommy Paul backpedaling, overhead winner. And there you have it, folks. We have his, it's only the second break point now of the match, and it's at a very opportune time trying to block Alcaraz from taking the first set. What a spectacular point from both players again. That pedaling back overhead was not easy, folks, and he put it in the perfect spot as far away from Carlitos as you possibly can. So really nice point there. And we have a break point opportunity for the American. Alcaraz serve up the middle, block back return, lands in the alley. So Alcaraz, another easy point, brings it back to deuce. M saying, come on, Tommy, make it exciting. He is, exactly, M, says Tennis Twit. Me and you both, Hill, my favorite too. Every winner can be loser one day. Paul can do it. Yes, you're very right, Nature Explorer. That's why you have to play the matches. If we only looked at the rankings, we wouldn't even have to play the matches. Here about wide, Tommy Paul forehand tried to go up the line, but hits the top, the high part of the net there. And Alcaraz now another set point. And he put it away on the second opportunity. Very, very gutsy little game here on the return side from Tommy Paul. However, Alcaraz set point number 2, looking to put it away, relieve a little bit of stress and pressure. Here we go. Carlitos. First serve is good. Forehand return. Alcaraz. Drop shot. Tommy Paul will not get to it. It's a drop shot winner. Alcaraz fist pumps to his box with authority there. And there he takes the first set, 6-4. Well done, Carlitos.
Vamos, Carlos Alcaraz. 1, 2, 3, vamos. Vamos, Carlos Alcaraz. Vamos.
Okay, Tennis Twit, very interested to know, for those who Carlos is their favorite player, who did you support before him? Very good question. So I like very much appreciate all the big three, but I have probably the softest spot in my heart for Roger. Yeah, so he was definitely like my first favorite player ever was Sampras. My second was Roger, but then it became kind of all of the big three because I just really love and appreciate all of their tennis. So for me, it was, I would say, Sampras, Roger / Rafa / Novak a little later for both of those, and then Carlitos. But to me, Carlitos is the most exciting player, even more than Roger for me. There's just something, I use the word all the time about describing him, and that word is electric. There's just something, it reminds me of my favorite ice hockey player named Pavel Bure, the Russian Rocket. If you ever get a chance, watch highlights. That guy was just pure goal scoring ability. So yeah, Gary might know who that is actually, because he played for the Florida Panthers for a few years after leaving Vancouver. Really good question, Tennis Twit, from Emma. Probably at the time of Rafa. No break, says Nature Explorer. Unfortunately, no, for those who wanted Tommy Paul to break. Emma, joy to watch. Joy to watch. Hill saying Rafa very sensational and his game is really good on TV. LOL, same sensation with Carlos. I hear what you're saying, Hill. Tennis Twit. Oh my goodness, Emma, you jumped ship from Rafa. I don't know why. I just warmed to Spanish players. Maybe it's their climate that they come from. Alcaraz, yes, says Alexander. Emma, I still support Rafa. Carlos is just my favorite right now. Hill saying, right, Emma. What a set. Yes, it was a good set for sure. Michael Chang inspires me to be a better person, says Alex. I love your comments, Alex. Alexander M saying GTL Vamos with Rafa. Okay, Emma, LOL, says Tennis Twit. I miss Rafa on tour. Stupid injuries. Same here. What Paul you are doing? At least try to fight. Beat Spain again. Yes, he is 1-0 against Paul, who is serving in a kickoff set number 2. Serve is good. Forehand return. Now forehand from Paul goes long, and it is love 15. Carlitos takes point number 1 in set number 2. Gosh, I'm getting a little chilly. I'm going to have to grab my hoodie in a second, although I never like wearing hoodie with collared shirt. You know? Trying to be all stylish. Beautiful day here in Vancouver. It's like 14, 15 degrees, cloudless skies. I can see the snow-capped mountains to my right, just north of the city. Here we go. Alcaraz second serve at 15, or sorry, at love 15. Second serve for Tommy Paul, I should say. Alcaraz rips a forehand winner up the line, and it is love 30 real quick. Be careful, Tommy Paul. Pressure's on from the get-go from Carlitos here in set number 2. Alcaraz forehand quality 8.9 to 7.3 from Paul. I don't know the exact. I think there's like a whole bunch of different calculations they do to figure that out, but that is definitely a significant difference. Tommy Paul serve up the tee, block back return. Alcaraz forehand. Tommy Paul inside out. Alcaraz gets a racket on it, but alas, nothing close to getting over the net, and it is now 15-30. Tommy Paul gets his first point of the set. We got Tennis Twit saying, yes, Emma, silly thigh injury. Need him back ASAP. I like Medi, Carlos, and Fritz now, but Rafa is my everything, says Ems. Alcaraz returning straight into the net, 30 all. So Tommy Paul back to level here. Aldo Ramos, saludos. Carlos a ganar. Carlos to win. Greetings, Carlos to win 2 sets. Muchas gracias para escribir en la comments. Comentos. I don't know, Billy. Sorry if I'm butchering your language, but thank you, Aldo Ramos. Great to have you in the chat. Gary, well played set. Enjoy the rest of the match. Covey and GTL guys and gals. See everyone again tomorrow with the heart emoji. Thank you, Gary. Have a great day. Make that paper, my friend. Hill saying, vamos, Charlie. As Alcaraz finds his way to another breakpoint opportunity real early here. Tommy Paul selecting which balls he wants to play this point with. Alcaraz, 1 for 3 break points so far. Tommy Paul 0 for 1 on his one opportunity that he had right at the end of that set. Alcaraz, a deep return there on the forehand. And then tries to go inside-out forehand on the second shot, and it was just a hair wide. So Tommy Paul brings it back to deuce. And, Alcaraz, yeah, I missed that by about an inch, maybe inch and a half. Emma, finally, someone else who likes Fritz to M's. Tennis Twit, I'm in, actually, 1 second here. Tommy Paul, and it's a beautiful ace out wide. And it is advantage Tommy Paul. So finding his way back, nicely done here. Don't want to get broken so early against Charlie here. I'm impressed you were able to appreciate all the big 3 like that, Covey. I only started to like Roger later. I think after he had kids, thought he was quite arrogant at times before then. Tommy Paul gets was that an ace? I believe it was. I missed to seeing if Alcaraz got a piece of it. However, either way, Tommy Paul holds for 1 love. Yeah, you know, so when it comes to ice hockey, when it comes to my favorite hockey team, the Vancouver Canucks, I'm way more like, I don't like your team, I like my team. But when it comes to tennis, I don't know why. I just always loved the leveling up that players do to each other. And that's why I appreciate the big 3 so much. Like, I was actually cheering for Rafa to beat Roger because I wanted him to finally win his Wimbledon. And I also cheered for Djokovic to win his first French, you know? So, and of course, Roger, when he won his first French, that was amazing. So whenever each of them had an opportunity to do something great, I was all for it. And so that's why a lot of people will kind of, I always mention that on, Alcaraz serve, and the +1 is a rocket forehand into the cross court, 15 love. I mean, that's the type of power that Tommy Paul just does not have. That's what I was saying earlier when I was kind of setting up this match. I was saying Tommy Paul's a great mover. He just doesn't have the raw power that Carlitos does. And I think that's going to be the difference in this one. But yeah, in terms of the big 3, I just really love all of them for making tennis so great by leveling each other up. Great serve from Alcaraz out wide. I actually thought that was long, and so did Tommy Paul, but Hawkeye did not. 30 love Alcaraz as Tommy Paul gets a racket on it, and it bounces on his side. Okay, Alcaraz first serve into the net. Kavi, are you in Bengaluru? No, I'm in Vancouver, but my family is like Hindu Punjabi, so we're religion is Hindu, although I'm not necessarily practicing. Double fault Alcaraz, so it's now 30-15. So our family is from the Punjab area, but we were Hindus that kind of moved into that. So we're not typically they're Sikh people who are in Punjab. Awesome. You speak very well Spanish. Thank you, my friend. Muchas gracias. Comments equals comentarios. I will remember that. Thank you. Comentarios. Gary, see you then, says M's. All right. Alcaraz serving 30-15. Serve is good. Return up the middle. Forehand Alcaraz. Ooh, just wide. And 30 all here. So a little bit of pressure on Alcaraz's serve then. Rafa is my favorite, says Emma, of the big three, but I love the other two as well. Hate the toxic tennis fans, yes, who gatekeep their favorite and criticize the other two who aren't their favorite. Totally agree with you, Emma. I just recently joined Twitter, recently meaning around the time I joined with GTL, which was in November, and I was shocked at the amount of animosity and hostility. One player would be like, oh, I like Rafa. And then someone would be like, oh, yeah, well, blah, blah, blah. This is why he sucks. And you're like, all I was saying was Rafa won today, But anyways, yeah, it's really funny. But I've learned to tune that stuff out. I don't engage whatsoever. I didn't really anyways, but Alcaraz here with the backhand up the line. Forehand Tommy Paul, backhand Alcaraz. Forehand Tommy Paul, forehand Alcaraz, forehand Paul. Forehand Alcaraz, forehand Paul. Now backhand cross court. Alcaraz is a bullet. Tommy Paul gets a piece of it, but it lands outside of the alley, or if you're in England, the tram lines. And it is 40-30 game point for Carlitos. Bring Djokovic soon is very boring nowadays. I don't agree that it's boring, but I also agree that we do need to bring him back. Hey, Cubby, any updates from Bianca Andreescu from last night's match or last night's game, says Hill. Not sure about she said she woke up with a brace this morning, so that tells me that she's probably not in great shape. Don't know if she's going to require surgery or not, so I do not know the answer to that, unfortunately. Emma saying that was heartbreaking, Bianca's injury. Oh, we got Ghost Tennis Twit. Aren't all these pro players arrogant? I think some of them have to be, but I definitely know what you're saying when you say that Roger was a little arrogant, because I remember in post matches he'd be like, yeah, I played a perfect match. And the thing is he did, and he's saying it, but it doesn't come off. All right, Alcaraz with the serve and a really high pop-up return from Tommy Paul lands about 1 inch over the net, and a high bounce. Alcaraz just rips that into the crowd. And I always say this, but as he should. I'm always annoyed when a player has a very, very, very easy overhead that they don't put into the crowd, because if you don't put it in the crowd there, you are risking that ball coming back. And so I like to see those players that bear down and say, boom, like, I'm putting this away, folks. Let's see here. Really want to see Novak soon. Same here, Hill. And a return and volley from Alcaraz. He does a little SABR, the sneak attack by Roger, but it's actually the SABC, sneak attack by Carlitos. Yeah, backhand return up the line and then just volleys it. So return and volley. What is the time there in Vancouver? It's 1:42 p.m. Tennis Twit, that's maturity, Cubby. Oh, thank you, my friend. Thank you. I appreciate that. I totally disagree with you, Cubby. Big Foe is right. We need to change the culture of the sport or it will die. Ghost, remind me what you disagree with me about on that, because I'm a little all over the place. Okay, we got Alcaraz with another nice return. Now Tommy Paul with a screamer of a forehand cross court. Oh my goodness, Alcaraz chops it back and it lands as far into the court as possible. And then he drop shots Tommy Paul. Tommy Paul was not expecting that return. Unbelievable shot from Carlitos. Tommy Paul with a screamer of a forehand. Alcaraz just does the squash and it goes all the way cross court, lands right in the corner. Tommy Paul gets that back, but it's a short ball and he's behind the baseline. Alcaraz just does a little drop shot winner. And oh my goodness, the defense is incredible. LOL Ghost, I'm a girl. Yes, I also made that that distinction as well. From London. Didn't realize I give off testosterone vibes. Funny. Tennis Twit, I meant the universal bro. My apologies. Where are you from, sis, ma'am? Which gender term do you prefer? I'll use whatever you like. And Alcaraz goes backhand into the net. So Tommy Paul relieves a tiny bit of pressure, but he's still down 15-30. Alcaraz has been putting pressure all service games for Tommy Paul here in the second set. Hey, Covey and everyone. Welcome, Max. Always nice to have you. And for your contributions to the chat. We have English. Okay, thank you. Oh, I don't care, Ghost. I only mention it because Covey also called me bro. I somehow implied. Oh, Alcaraz backhand on the return goes long, so it is 30 all. Isaac Martinez, gran partido. That means, I believe, it means good match. Vamos a ver quién puede parar a Carlos. So let's see who can parar. I don't know. Maybe play or beat Carlos. Muchas gracias por comentario, Isaac. Mucho gusto. I learned that word recently. Comentario, just about 10 minutes ago. Alcaraz continues with the pressure. Now it is break point. Tommy Paul serving at 30-40. So Alcaraz won the first 2 points. Tommy Paul won the next 2 to make it 30 all. Then Alcaraz won the last one, setting up another break point. 1 hour and 4 minutes into this one. First serve is wide from Tommy Paul. Second serve, backhand return cross court from Alcaraz. Now forehand Tommy Paul is long. And so there's the break. Alcaraz takes a 2-1 lead at the changeover. First break of the set. Ghost saying they're all arrogant. It's just that some are better at hiding it or have enough money to hire a PR team to massage their image in the press, social media. Okay, that's what you're talking about. I mean, I think you have to have a little bit of that, like Holger Rune definitely has his ultra confidence in himself, things like that. Ghost saying, I forgot that comment was posted several minutes ago and my tired old brain absorbed too much dank. In high school, LOL, I legit forget. When you're from BC, the dank actually makes you sharper, makes you stronger, faster, more alert. It's amazing. But that's because it's in our blood here. You got Ghost laughing for M's there. He is not arrogant, but many injury drama, saying Nature Explorer. Come on, Tommy, do something, says M's. Rafa arrogant. We watching the same player, Nature? Yeah, I don't find Rafa to be arrogant, honestly. I really find him to be genuinely humble. Novak as well, but there's like tinges of it. Roger, he definitely had tinges of the arrogance as well. I'd say more than the other two. But they also are pretty humble in the end. I think they understand. I think they're like, you know what? We've lived magical lives. We've done amazing things in our sports, respectively. And we should be happy about that. Oh dear, Tommy, the one time I support you as I won a 3-set match for once on the stream, says Tennis Twit. Yes, Carlos, says Hill from Calgary. Max from Ghost. Fans should be able to come and go and move around and speak during matches. Imagine going to a basketball game and not saying anything. Let's start changing things to bring younger fans into the game. I agree definitely to a point. I think you don't want people necessarily talking too much during points, but I wouldn't mind seeing like kind of some movement if it's like kind of out of the way. I don't like the fact that, you have to wait 3 games if you have to go to the bathroom between sets and you have to wait 3 games outside the stadium. Alcaraz gets the first point as Tommy Paul Shankarooski on that first return. So yeah, Ghost, I definitely agree with you there that there's got to be something. It doesn't have to be so polite all the time. Like maybe keep it like that in Wimbledon. I feel like Wimbledon's like the most least lenient in advancing with the times. They want to keep their traditions, which is fine. But, there's something about the raucous New York crowd. Like last year, they had a dog in the crowd. They also had a guy giving haircuts. Literally, they have the barber sheet over the guy, and this guy is doing a haircut to someone in the stands. Like, that's the type of craziness that I love to see for sure. Alcaraz 15-all here, up a break at 2-1 in the second set. Also up a set is Alcaraz. Tommy Paul backhand goes long, 30-15 now for Carlitos. Rafa is 100% arrogant. I say this with love, but y'all are delusional. I personally have not seen him be arrogant. I've never, and I consider myself calling it like it is. I'm sure he's probably gotten into things with players that I haven't seen, but I've never seen him. I've never seen him say something like Tsitsipas said after he beat Rublev, saying, I can't believe I lost to him. He has no weapons. Like, I've never seen anything remotely close to that. Another easy point for Alcaraz, serve up the tee, and shanky little return from Tommy Paul. Double game point, 40-15, Carlitos. The serve is long. Ghost, I was at US Open last year, and I was in the middle of a group of people who kept standing up, taking photos, being drunk, blocking my view, nearly ruined my night. Thankfully, they left. That would be annoying. I agree with you there. If you're annoying other spectators, for sure. Alcaraz with a forehand up the line, defense from Tommy Paul. Now a backhand slice from Paul. Alcaraz inside-out forehand, another defensive shot from Paul, and it's a 50-50 ball, and Alcaraz goes up the line. Tommy Paul decides to go the other way, and Alcaraz wins that point for a 3-1 hold. Way to go, Carlito.
Vamos, Carlos Alcaraz. 1, 2, 3, vamos. Vamos, Carlos Alcaraz. Vamos.
Tennis Twit saying, oh yeah, Wimbledon are stuck in the Stone Age. I think US Open looks the most exciting. Yeah, I've mentioned this before, but as a person of color, Wimbledon definitely has very, very one-colored in the stands and everything. And I mean, that's, I think that's how the country is and stuff. I'm not, implying anything severe, but I'm just saying, like, it seems like the least kind of welcoming to new fans because there's like a decorum. Ooh, Alcaraz tries to get a forehand winner, but that goes wide after a couple of shots in that rally. Ghost, yeah, Wimbledon and the Brits writ large are more attached to traditional systems. Give me the microphone first so I could bust like a bubble. Compton and Long Beach together. Man, you know you in trouble. Ain't nothing but a G thing, baby. Too loped out. Are we crazy? All right, backhand Tommy Paul. Backhand slice Alcaraz. Forehand Tommy Paul. Forehand Alcaraz. Forehand Paul. Forehand Alcaraz. Forehand Paul. Forehand Alcaraz. Backhand Paul. Forehand Alcaraz. Forehand Paul is long. So it is 15-all on Tommy Paul serve here. Thanks for the rhyme there, Alexander Laurence. I mean, as long as the tennis players are not pretending to be nice, I'm fine with it. Yes, authenticity over fakeness all day long. I'd rather a player who's angry or arrogant be that way than pretend they're not arrogant and act humble, Rafa has a little prima donna in him, just a little, says Jane. There you go. Hill saying, looks like it's going to be Sinner Alcaraz in the semis. So far, it looks that way, but Tommy Paul was down a set and a break to Alcaraz last time they met, and he won that match. So don't say never. Oh, Alcaraz with another insane lob over that lands on the baseline defensively as Paul was going to the net. Now Alcaraz inside-out forehand, backhand from Paul. Alcaraz drop shot, and Tommy Paul gets to it. Oh, beautifully done. And then Alcaraz whips a backhand that goes long. Great work by Tommy Paul. That was a very, very gutsy point, especially chasing down that drop shot. Really well done from Tommy Paul. Alcaraz, I mean, he had another one of these backhand squashy desperation shots that landed as far cross court as you could possibly go. And then pulls Tommy Paul off. Now, this is where the movement of Tommy Paul, a lot of players would not have got that drop shot, but he did. And Alcaraz punches that backhand long. Let on the first serve. Another first coming up here. 30-15, Tommy Paul. Like I said, there are those who made good at hiding it, but all these guys and women are staunchly arrogant. You can't succeed at this level as a softie. Can't be done. Maybe. I don't know. I think you need to have some level of competitiveness. Does it have to go into arrogance? I don't know if I fully agree with that sentiment, Ghost. And it's okay, we can disagree, but I think that there are players who can do it without being staunchly arrogant. Alcaraz with a backhand slice lands on the baseline, and then Tommy Paul forehand. Alcaraz forehand. Ooh, it's a bullet, but it goes wide. Tommy Paul holds. Alcaraz still up a break 3-2, and will serve after the break. Emma, in regards to the U.S. Open crowd that was bothering M, saying, God, that's ridiculous, Ems. I really think people like that should be removed. I agree with you there. For a paying customer to be unable to watch the match because someone's blocking your view, constantly maybe being a little bit too intoxicated, I agree with you there for sure. You don't want to inconvenience others. Vamos, says Emma, I got to move down a little bit. LOL Covey is on point. Re the color code at the All England Club. Kudos to you for being diplomatic in your description of it. I'm not nearly as nice as you. I won't go into it too much, but it's definitely something I've noticed. I still want to go have my strawberries and cream, see what how beautiful the lawn at center court is, but there's something that doesn't feel as inviting to me as maybe the Aussie Open. French, of course. I think French has a really good tennis crowd. And then the US is just a wild show of craziness. Me and Alexander can hang with the bars there. Emma, it really was. And when I asked them to be quiet, they proceeded to intimidate me knowing I was on my own. That's even worse. That I do not tolerate whatsoever. Peaches, especially in this age of like what's going on with women are coming out and saying, I've been treated this way in my past. And, people should have a little bit more sense. I was going to say the Hindi word is akal. I was going to say some people need to have more sense, especially in these types of days. Peaches, I was mentioning you earlier, wondering where you were. Hey, Covey and GTL fam, welcome. Great to have you as always. Tennis Twit sounds very annoying. Was it difficult to get tickets? Okay, Alcaraz serve, block back return from Paul is a short one, and Alcaraz forehand into the net. So it is love 15. I may be wrong. Isn't most sports for the upper class people? That's actually a decent point, but there are some sports, like for example, baseball in the US. I remember when I was at Arizona State University, I could go to an Arizona Diamondbacks Major League Baseball game for like $7 in the upper deck. Spring training, I could pay $5. Hockey in Arizona was super cheap. Ace out wide for Alcaraz here, 15 all. So it depends on where you are. Tennis Twit saying competitive does not equal arrogance. I agree, Covey. Yeah, I think that you got to have a little bit of everything, right? But it's definitely a good discussion. I like these types of discussions. I like them better than Rafa is better than Novak because, and then someone will say, well, Novak's better than Rafa because, those are less fun conversations. Alcaraz with a beautiful drop volley. Tommy Paul, it was a serve and volley, and Tommy Paul got all of that return. Sorry, it wasn't the return. It was the second shot from Paul, but then Alcaraz just drop volleyed it. Beautiful. And Peaches. Alcaraz is playing like a robot. He is not getting tired, but how? Suspicious sometimes. These guys train. They live their whole entire lives. When I was playing hockey 5 days a week, I could do things that my body couldn't even consider doing right now. So, by the way, folks, we got about 50 people in here. Let's get some likes up if possible. Trying to get as many as we can. It always helps the channel grow. We've got a nice little rally. Forehand Alcaraz, forehand Paul, forehand Alcaraz, forehand Tommy Paul, backhand Alcaraz cross court to the backhand of Paul up the line, forehand Alcaraz cross court, forehand cross court Tommy Paul, another one Alcaraz, now up the line Tommy Paul, backhand Alcaraz, off the net backhand Paul, Alcaraz drop shot, Tommy Paul gets to it, Alcaraz whips it cross court, Tommy Paul gets a racket on it, but it doesn't go where he wants it to. It actually goes to the umpire's chair. Alcaraz 40-15, and there's a guy in the crowd doing one of these, saluting Alcaraz. We're not worthy. And it is an amazing point. Again, both players coming up with some really nice shots in these beautiful rallies, not just one-sided. It's not just like, Tommy Paul's all offense, Alcaraz all defense. They're both doing a little bit of everything. Formidable point. The people in Miami are getting their money's worth. That last shot from Alcaraz, he was almost facing backwards, hitting a backhand cross court. And just unbelievable. Someone's got an Alcaraz soccer jersey. 20-shot rally. First serve, Alcaraz off the tape and long. So, second serve coming up. Woo! It's getting good, folks. The chat is awesome. The match is awesome. Sunny out here in Vancouver. Backhand slice from Alcaraz. Inside out forehand Tommy Paul. Alcaraz with a cross-court backhand, just like the last point. And then Tommy Paul, this time he gets a volley on it, but it goes wide. He tried to push it too much of an angle. Tried to redrop that. And Alcaraz holds for 4-2. I am way behind. I'm going to move up here. Go saying tennis started on the white upper class enclaves of elite England. Emma saying, my God, that nature thinks anyone doing well that isn't Novak is suspicious. Yes, Carlitos. Nature saying tennis twit. I am not just saying, he proved it. I don't agree that he has proved that he's doing anything illegal. Totally agree. M says tennis twit. If you say so, bro. I like how you threw the bro in there. Ghost, I'm worthy. Actually, 1 second here. Tommy Paul, ooh, beautiful serve up the tee. Alcaraz got a racket, but nowhere near a return. I'm worthy. I could get into Carlitos' head. I'm not dependent on European responsibility politics. I'll McEnroe the young fella into conniption fits. Good word, conniption. Covey, you could go to an A's game for $1, sit in the bleachers. Only reason I started watching baseball. Yeah, there's something magical about having a beer out in the sun at a baseball game in the upper deck for like $5-6 or even $1. I mean, come on. How do they even make money? Good little rally ending with Alcaraz backhand slice into the net. That's crazy thing. So you, I guess you're talking the Oakland A's. Carlitos, says Peaches. Drop shots are crazy. Reason Medvedev lost the Indian Wells. Definitely a huge part of that for sure. Carlitos drop shots is money, says Peach. Oh, hey, Peaches, Ghosty. Jane. Got 40 love for Tommy Paul here as Alcaraz, another one into the net. So Tommy Paul looking to stay within touching distance as he should. Still down a set and a break. And it's an ace out wide. It's a beauty, and it's a game to love for the American. Little bit of love for Tommy Paul.
Tommy Paul. Tommy Paul. Tommy Paul. Tommy Paul. Tommy Paul.
Tommy Paul.
Tommy Paul.
Tommy Paul.
Tommy Paul.
Tommy Paul.
Tommy Paul.
Tommy Paul.
Tennis twit saying, come on, Tommy, we want more tennis. I kind of agree with you. This match is really good. Of course, you all know that I am an Alcaraz fan, but I'm also just a fan of great tennis. I'd rather see Alcaraz lose a very high-quality three-setter than win 6-love, 6-love. For me, it's not about the results. It's about the tennis we get to watch. Me in a match against Carlitos, says Ghost, dropping some skimpy red underwear. Can you get this back to your mom for me, mijo? Gracias. Oh, gosh. Jane, you know what else is awesome? Khachanov has first set on Tsitsipas. So he could break the 0-23 streak in his last 23 against top 10 players. Carlos uses the drop shot similarly to the Federer Saber move. Yeah, that's a good point there. Jane saying ghost OMG. You could say acting is for the upper class people, but I'm not entirely sure. Um, Jane, yes, Karen versus Steph is fire. Oh, nice. Who's your favorite WTA player, Cubby? So this year, so of all time, it's Justine Anna. She was my favorite. I also Anna Kournikova. I'm just being silly. Although I did walk by her in Phoenix once after she lost the match to Lindsay Davenport, and it was one of the most amazing experiences of my life. And then, of course, I love Bianca. I love Leila Annie Fernandez. You know what? I'm gonna take a look here because whenever someone asks me this question, I don't have an. I feel like my answers aren't as good as I know it should be. So I'm gonna take a look here and mention some players. So Sabalenka, I'm really starting to like Rybakina. I just love her attitude. Belinda Bencic is one of my favorites as well. Vekic as well. I'm starting to like her game. I didn't really watch too much of her before she's kind of come back from recent injury woes. By the way, Alcaraz is up 15-love and just demolishing the ball right now. Going forehand to Tommy Paul's forehand, then his backhand, then his forehand, and then he does a drop shot, and he ends up winning the point 30-love Alcaraz. Haddad Maia is another player I enjoyed watching quite a bit. Ostapenko, I like her authenticity, her game kind of, it's okay. It's sheer power, but when it's not on, it's kind of tough to watch. I also like Qin Wen Zheng. So those I'd say are probably my favorites on the women's side. Starting with the Canadians, though, they're my favorites. Good question. Justine was so talented and loved that she was shorter than most, and her one-hand backhand was better than Rogers, in my opinion, in terms of just fluidity and beauty. Beautiful return from Tommy Paul right to the feet of Alcaraz, and Alcaraz backhand into the net. Couldn't get out of the way quick enough. Yeah, Covey, this was back around in the early 2000s. Tuesday home games were $1 admission for the bleachers, $1 hot dogs. That's funny because early 2000s when I was in Phoenix, and that's when I went to like $4 beer and hot dog game or whatever. Shout out to Enrique Iglesias, Covey, for liking Anna. Yeah, that lucky bastard. Emma, I like Bencic. Also disappointed she lost to Alexandrova. Same here. I'm expecting better things from her this year. Tommy Paul, forehand goes long. 40-15, Carlitos. Sabalenka, my favorite currently, says Tennis Twit, followed by Iga, but Venus and Serena all time. Oh my goodness. See, that's what I'm saying. I always forget. Of course, Serena is also one of my favorites. I was glued to the TV so many times. See, they leave your consciousness for a few months and you forget all about them. Another easy point. Carlito serve up the tee. The return goes long, and now Tommy Paul will serve to stay in this tournament. The local boy from Boca Raton, Florida, playing here in Miami. And we are nearing potentially the end of this match. Let's find out. But don't say anything too quickly. Raducanu, Pagula, Rybakina are my favorite, says Emma. Nice. It's a good trio. Okay, Tommy Paul, first serve into the net. There's a taco shop in Phoenix, great place to take a date, but only if you really, really like her. Or if you just really like tacos. Forehand, Alcaraz goes into the top part of the net. So Tommy Paul takes the first point here on his service game, 15-love. There's this place in Arizona, in Phoenix, called Some Burros, Some, and then Burros, Burros. And man, I think they put crack in their beans because I could just eat just spoonfuls, no problem. All right, 15-love. We got Alcaraz with a forehand, goes long, so it's 30-love now. Tommy Paul looking more and more like Alcaraz is going to have to serve it out. So, Tommy Paul now. Serve is good. Forehand return, Alcaraz off the baseline. Scooped up Paul. Now Alcaraz inside out forehand. Backhand Paul goes long. 30-15 now. Tommy Paul kind of laughing ironically. Maybe he's unhappy with something he did there. Ooh, Tommy Paul has he started the match wearing his hat forward, and now he's wearing it backwards. Little update on the kit situation, folks. Serve with a nice kicker from Paul. Another deep return. Now Alcaraz drop shot off of that. Tommy Paul gets to it, goes cross court. Alcaraz goes back cross court. That's a high IQ play, folks. Everyone and their mother thought Alcaraz was going to easily put that up the line, and so did Tommy Paul. And as soon as he lunged that way, Alcaraz decided, you know what? I'm just going to go back to where you were, making it impossible. Just a beautiful little flick. And it's 30-all. So Alcaraz finds himself 2 points away from the quarterfinals and a date with Yannick Sinner. What a play. What a play. That's one of those plays where you're just like, come on, man. All right, return from Alcaraz up the middle. Forehand Paul is deep and it's good. Forehand Alcaraz, backhand Paul, backhand Alcaraz, backhand Paul, backhand Alcaraz into the net. And now game point, Tommy Paul, 40-30, an hour and 28 minutes into this one. Karen's up a set and a break. Woohoo. We love winding Ghost up about Pagula, says Emma. Thank Lord M's good riddance, Steph. Peaches. Emma, yes, I love JPEG is Ghost Trigger. Ghost saying, yeah, JPEG's my favorite. She's going to look beautiful in my rich girl labor camp after the revolution. All right, forehand from Tommy Paul. Ooh, that was a bad one. Shankarooski brings it to deuce on game point there. Oh, you're right. Sorry, Royden. My apologies. You're the winner of this will face Fritz, not Sinner. The winner of the next round has the potential to face Sinner. You're right. Thank you for the correction there. My apologies. All right, serve out wide. Alcaraz gets that back in the middle. Tommy Paul takes it to the other side all the way, and Alcaraz with a lob landing in. Overhead smash up the middle. From Paul, and that's a winner. So another game point. Oh, no! The overhead smash was long. Wow. So that sets up match point, folks.
Match point.
I totally thought that overhead was in. That was crazy. All right, match point here, folks. First serve is good. Backhand return Alcaraz. Backhand Tommy Paul. Ooh. That's a screamer. Alcaraz gets it back, and it lands on the baseline. Another forehand screamer from Paul. Alcaraz gets that too. Now Alcaraz backhand, forehand Paul, forehand Alcaraz, and it's just wide. I cannot believe he got both of those shots back. I mean, Tommy Paul's sitting there like, what the heck am I supposed to do? Just unreal what's going on here, folks. Alcaraz thought he had the match there on his racket. And he almost did. Back to deuce. What? You know, for a match that's 6-4, 5-3, this is quite the cracker, folks, as they say in England. Backhand return Alcaraz. And then second backhand from Alcaraz goes long. Tommy Paul, another game point. We got Peaches negotiating for better accommodations for JPEG at Ghost Fictional Labor Camp. All right, Alcaraz, serve up the middle. Alcaraz chops it back, short ball. Tommy Paul, oh my goodness. Alcaraz with two. Oh my, okay. If that went in, I would have thrown my hat on the ground and just ended the stream. But anyways, Alcaraz goes long on a desperation backhand. But there was one shot there where Tommy Paul smoked the crap out of the ball. Alcaraz guessed right and got it back in. But Tommy Paul was there at the net to cut it off, forcing that overhead lob. So it is Tommy Paul who holds, deserving of a button, I'd say, after all the pressure. Saved a match point in that one as well.
Tommy Paul. Tommy Paul. Tommy Paul. Tommy Paul. Tommy Paul. Tommy Paul.
Tommy Paul.
Tommy Paul.
Tommy Paul.
Tommy Paul.
Tommy Paul.
Tommy Paul.
Tommy Paul.
Tommy Paul.
Tommy Paul.
All right, folks, we got about 70 people in the chat, in the stream. I'm just asking you for one favor. We're at 45 likes. If 5 of you can give us a like just to get to 50, I would be so happy and grateful. It's really tough to get lots of likes in the shorter 3-set matches, but I would definitely, I know we can do it, folks. So please do give us a hand if possible. Just 5 more likes would be a great number to hit. Also, do give us a subscribe as well if you're new. That way you will be notified. You hit the bell and you'll be notified on all of our upcoming streams. We do matches like these, live play-by-play commentary streams. We also have draw previews. We have draw reactions. We have news updates. Whenever any big news comes up, Ben and JG usually drop a video about it. And we also have a weekly segment that I do called Covey's Corner, where I do a weekly roundup of all the things that happen in tennis for the week. Yeah. Tennis Twit saying, come on, people, send the likes. Just 5. That's all we're asking. Really appreciate, even if you don't give us a like, really appreciate having you in the stream as well. And to anyone who comments, contributes into the chat, or if you're just listening in the background at your house, maybe you don't have the ability to watch in the country or the place you're at. And so we are your eyes and ears. Very grateful to be that. So thank you to everyone. Really, really appreciate each and every one of you. All right, Alcaraz now serving for the match. 5-4. Here we go. First serve is a hard serve up the tee. Tommy Paul got a backhand on it, but it bounces on his side, then into the net. Ibrahim Covey, can you give the match summary? Yeah, pretty much Alcaraz he's got one break in each set, and it's been great tennis. Some really good rallies, good ball striking, good defense from both players. But pretty much Alcaraz, by the way, serve and volley, beautiful volley into the open court, 30 love, and he's very calmly walking back, looking at his coach, kind of giving him the, we got this. So yeah, basically really good tennis. And Alcaraz only faced one break point. He broke twice. He's had about, 6 opportunities. So yeah, that's pretty much summary of the match there. I love this chat, says Max. Okay, here we go. Alcaraz, another hard serve, block back return. Tommy Paul, now backhand Alcaraz, backhand Paul. Backhand Alcaraz goes long. So it is now 30-15. JPEG Mafia in the house. Pagula. Yeah, so hopefully that helps you, Ibrahim. But yeah, it's been a really good match. Really great match so far. Let's see where the like count is at. 45 still. So my imploring for likes did not work. That's okay. First serve is into the net from Carlitos. Here comes a second serve. That was 126 miles an hour, that first serve that went into the net. Second serve is good. Forehand return, Paul. Backhand Alcaraz. Forehand Paul. Forehand Alcaraz. Forehand Paul into the net. Setting up match point number 2. Alcaraz has double match point here.
Match point.
Can he do it, folks? Can Carlitos make it another straight sets victory? He won every match in Indian Wells in straight sets. He's won his first 2 matches here in straight sets. So that's 6, 7, 8 matches in a row, all in straight sets. Can he make it 9? Match point number 2 for the world number 1. Let's go. Will he face Taylor Fritz? First serve off the tape and long. I like Covey, but unlike Jessica Pula, I don't need my dad's money to do so. Daddy's money, he said. Second serve, good. Forehand return up the line. Alcaraz takes it right back, and Tommy Paul can't handle that. And it is a win for Carlitos. 6-4, 6-4. Really great match for a 2-setter, folks. Lots of drama, lots of tension, great shot making from both players, some good movement, a lot of points that were extended longer than they would have been had these 2 players not been on the court, and a very nice embrace. They put their arms around each other and take a couple steps towards the umpire's chair. So really, really good to see. High quality tennis, folks, from both sides of the net. In the end, Carlitos just had a little too much firepower for the American, but Tommy Paul did really, really well. Acquitted himself nicely, and he just ran into a buzzsaw. Carlitos now on a 9-match winning streak, hasn't dropped a set in those 9 matches. So, yeah, he's definitely cruising. I'm very, very excited to see how the Fritz Alcaraz match goes. They've never played each other, so that's going to be fun. And then let me just see here. I'm just going to look at the bracket just to take a look. So Alcaraz and okay, so Alcaraz, Lajovic. Okay, Alcaraz Paul will play. Yeah, we'll play Fritz, and Sinner is going to play Rusevori. The winner of Alcaraz Fritz will play the winner of Rusevori Sinner. Okay. On the bottom half, it's going to be Manarino is facing Eubanks today. The winner of that will face the winner of Medvedev Halis. And then also Sonego Cerundolo will face the winner of Tsitsipas Khachanov. So there you go. We are down to what are our final 1, 2, 3, 4, and 12 players. It'll be 8 after today is done. So I will also be calling the Daniil Medvedev match a little bit later. That'll be at 5:30 my time. It's currently 2:20, so in about 3 hours and 10 minutes. And it's also 8:30 in Miami time. So, yeah, we got some really good players left in the draw. Currently, Khachanov is he's up a set and a break. So right now, Tsitsipas is down 3-5 in the second set. And he's serving. He's up 30-15. So Khachanov still up a break, trying to. My dog, Gobi, what are you doing? She's scratching the carpet there. She never really digs into the carpet. Yeah. So as I mentioned, Manarino, Eubanks later, Cerundolo, Sonego later, and has Halis Medvedev later. Also on the women's side, Trevisan lost in straight sets to Rybakina. Pegula is going to face Potapova in about an hour and 40 minutes. And yeah, so there you go, folks. I'll run through the comments real quick. I know I didn't get to, it got really tense at the end, so I didn't really get into the whole Pegula concentration or labor camp thing. Alcaraz versus Medvedev finale, says Royden. Ghost will make you suffer. Oh my gosh. Tennis Twit, thanks, Covey. Medi match, way too late for my time zone. Enjoy it. Good night, everyone. You're very welcome. Thank you for joining me, Tennis Twit. And no worries if you can't make it. I understand it's very late for you. I think like 1:30 start or something, or 12:30. Well, not an unexpected finish. Carlos is a monster, but Tommy performed well. The stats confirm that. Alcaraz just performed better. Agree with you there, Ghost. Jane, thank you for the commentary, Covey. You're very welcome, and thank you for that tip. And I'm glad I remembered that that I should offer you one, and very gracious and generous of you to hand that off to Lammy. Alexander Laurence, we want Pegula. Peach is saying, thank you for the stream, Covey. See you, GTL. Have to walk the dog. Ghost, my BFF, says Peaches. Take care, Peaches. Love having you in the chat as always. Ems, oh, I know Pegula inspires the worst in y'all. LOL. Thank you, de rien, Wedia. Merci beaucoup pour avoir, is it regarder or voir le match avec moi? Quand j'étais petit, j'ai étudié le français immersion pour 12 années, mais ça fait beaucoup de temps, 20 années que j'ai parlé, alors c'est pas, je parle pas bien maintenant. So we have Ghost saying, thanks, Covey. I'm sending you a Don't Be a Pegula t-shirt. There you go. Thank you, Covey from Max. You're very welcome. See you later with the heart. Later, Ems. Have a great night. Ghost saying, peace, chat. Warm and fuzzy Pegula, says Alexander. Come on, Karen, says Peaches. Warm and fuzzy, huh? Maybe I should rethink things. Okay, folks, again, thank you to everyone. The like count in the end was 47, so we did get a couple. Thank you to everyone who contributed, who joined, who supports the Game to Love tennis community, the podcast. You guys are great. Always happy to be doing this because of you guys. So I just want to say thank you once again. And from Vancouver, BC, myself and my dog Gobi, we are out. And we will see y'all for the Daniil Medvedev match a little bit later in about 3 hours' time. Peace out, folks.